Okay, guys, welcome to today's next level session. We do these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 2 p.m. East. Just a reminder, all of our training stuff can be found via the top right of your kvCORE dashboard. Right here where it says View Live Training Calendar. You can go over to the calendar, find links to these sessions and others. So let's see. Our topic for this week, we had a request in the Facebook group to talk a little bit about FSBOs in kvCORE, and I thought it was a good idea. And it's probably a topic that we can just run out for the whole week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So here's a rough itinerary that I've built out. I'm hoping today to build out a quick little report and landing page we can use and drive traffic to attract people who are trying to sell their own house. And then Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll run a Facebook and Google ad, drive traffic to that landing page. Thursday, I have another angle here as I was trying to think through this, where you could use direct mail to try to get interest from FSBOs and basically ask them if they'd be willing to pay commission. That's more of a surgical, one at a time kind of approach. So I figured we'd build that out a little bit, maybe with a text code or phone call, and show the creation of that. And then time permitting along the way, maybe we'll show how to zap leads in from third-party sources like Mojo and others. So if you guys have any questions along the way, as always, just chat them in the Zoom box here. And then if we have time at the end of these sessions, we'll do our usual Q&A, anything goes related to kvCORE. So sound good? All right. So the setup for this, I have a couple of bullet points. The first point here is that FSBOs, in my mind, can be treated just like any other growth system type of niche. And in the doc here, which I'll share in the description in YouTube, and also to you watching live, get this, share this with you. Let's see, anybody can see this, done, share, copy link. Here we go. So those of you watching live, here's the link. But in the doc, there's a link to the Growth Systems webinar that we recently did. You can find this in the next level members area that kind of lays out this methodology, which basically is modern internet marketing applied to real estate. And what we're going to be doing this week is kind of trying to build out a little funnel for FSBOs, or a handful of little kind of angles and ideas. So the setup for this is that right now, I think this could be good timing. Owners do think and know that it's easy to sell on their own. I've seen FSBO signs come and go. I think some people are probably having a little more success than they historically do, right? Just because of the nature of it being a seller's market, what's been going on in the last few years. But as the market shifts back toward normalcy, which we might see with interest rates coming up, who knows, there's a good chance that some of these people who are like, well, why do I need an agent, will try and fail, as they always have, right? They generally do. And even the people selling now, I just want to let you guys know, some of what I'm going to say today might be offensive to some, especially the lead magnet angle that we're going to take. But I just want to say that I know full well that it makes more sense to list with an agent, because you're just going to make more money. I wouldn't want to list my own house because I'm going to say something dumb, or you know what I mean? Say something that I shouldn't say that'll cost me 5 figures in negotiating or whatever. But we know that most FSBOs don't understand this, that they do want to put some kind of a buffer, some kind of an agent between them and the person buying. That said, the hook that I'm going to take and propose here is going to join the conversation that's in the prospect's head, which I think it's John Caples. I forget which guy said that, or Ed Schwartz, some old famous marketing copywriter guy said that. Join the conversation, people's head. You guys can Google that. So when you see me putting this hook out here, don't get upset or offended. In the past, I was doing this back in York, PA, probably 10 years ago when I was selling heavily. And I remember putting out something like this about helping FSBOs know how to market. And this agent got so mad at me. It was insane, really upset with me about this, but they didn't really understand what I was trying to do. Anyway, the basis of our growth systems is that we want to come up with a hook, a lead magnet, something that our prospect, our target audience, will be interested in. And if somebody's in the frame of mind that they think that they don't need an agent, right? They don't need to pay a commission, whatever reason they might have for selling on their own. We know that most just try it out for a week or two, and then they give up, right? And they call somebody. And a lot of people go into it thinking that they'll just try it, see what happens, and that they will hire an agent. So we just want to join the conversations in their head And the hook that I've come up with is 5 marketing tactics that will help you sell your house without paying an agent's commission. Somebody chat in, let me know what you think of this hook. Could this be worded better? Anything wrong with this? And the angle we're taking is that we're going to educate the FSBO about what they might do to sell their own house. But along the way, we're positioning ourselves as the resource that can actually do these things. We want them to get the idea that they're like, I don't really feel like doing these things, right? And even in the report that we're going to build today, we're going to kind of hint at the fact that, hey, if they want help, they can contact us. So somebody let me know what you think of that strategy. Good lead magnets educate, but then they kind of position you as the person, the resource that they're going to want to work with to solve this problem. The other interesting thing, of course, about doing this and working with FSBOs is that there is always the buyer's commission side of things. So even if you're helping out a FSBO and you're starting a relationship this way, you do have kind of an inside track to show your buyers the house, probably, if they're willing to pay an agent's commission. So there's that. So nobody's commenting. Hopefully you can all hear me. That's fine. I don't tend to comment or participate in Zooms myself on webinars, so that's okay. So I'm going to keep going until somebody says something. So let's talk about this construction of the lead magnet, the thing that somebody is going to opt in for. So I always start with what's the angle? Here's our angle, 5 marketing tactics that will help you. And then I generally find it easier personally to just make a quick video about the topic. But I realize not everybody really wants to get on video. So I figured the way we would start this, let's make a quick report that could be turned into a video. And where I'm always going to go to do this is I'm just going to go File, New, Document. I'm going to go to my Google Docs. All right, we'll paste our headline up top. And constructing these things, especially when you're doing like a listicle, they might call it. It's kind of like a list. You have a number of things. The way that I'll generally start is by just listing each of the 5 things almost as bullet points, and those become our headlines, going back to writing book reports when we were in school, right? So, 5 marketing tactics. I'm just gonna, if anybody watching wants to propose a few, because I didn't really think all these through right away. I was counting on myself to be able to just come up with these on the fly. But if you have any ideas, go ahead and do it. But I'm gonna say, run a Facebook ad, run a Google ad for your property, hold a virtual open house, or hold an open house. Could be virtual. Maybe we'll sneak that in. Give me 2 more, guys. How else do we market stuff? Use a text response code on your sign. So I might put this first here. Offer, email some agents and offer to pay a buyer's commission. Now, this does not need to be 5. Wonderful, Tara. Post the house on Nextdoor. Post your house in neighborhood. I'm going to do neighborhood groups. And then Nextdoor, Facebook. I'm just putting a little note there for myself. So got these bolded, small. These are going to become my headlines. Okay. Any more, guys? Let's see if we can get it to be 7. I love odd numbers here. What do you guys do when you're marketing a property for sale, other than these things? Now, we know they're going to be thinking Zillow, of course, so we don't really need to say that. The Facebook and Google ad, I don't think a lot of people are going to go that route. We could lump that all into drive web traffic, but I'm just going to separate those 2. Circle prospect, great. That's a circle prospect with postcards. Is that okay? Circle prospect, and I'll just put postcards. Call neighbors. Yeah, just list a card or something. Right, postcards, real video footage of home and layout. So that's an interesting point. I'm not going to count that as kind of a marketing activity, the video footage with home and layout rooms, but I think create a web page, right? And include, if that's all right, Claire, I'm going to do and include video footage, video, the floor plans, etc. Kind of like that's like the first step is like get it presented somewhere online, because we're going to need this to do all of this basically. So do you guys starting to see where I'm going here? Like we want them to read this report and get value out of it. Oh yeah, that would be cool to do, right? But we're not gonna show them how to run the darn Facebook ad. We could, but we're not gonna go into too much detail. We just want to say, hey, here's some ideas that you can do, and then our at the end, our conclusion is, if you have any questions about any of this or want help executing, feel free to get in touch. That's kind of like always the end thing. It's like here's this stuff you should do, and now that you're thoroughly confused or overwhelmed, I am the solution to that confusion and overwhelm. So and this is what I was doing years ago when that agent got mad at me. I was like, I'm not saying that people should FSBO their house. You see what I'm doing? Quite the opposite here. But they just weren't having it. Man, it was rough. It was one of my worst professional experiences, honestly, that encounter. All right. I think they were like threatening to report me to the local board and stuff. It was crazy. And I was a lot younger, thinner skin and stuff. All right. So now we've got our bullets. Right. And I don't know that I need to sit here with you guys and write all this out. But what I'm going to do between today and tomorrow is I'm going to fill this all in, probably with some images, some language and all this other stuff. And next level members, this will be available for you to download and to edit as is. Right. I have done okay with this, Susan. Yeah. Back when I was very active. I always was about showing how to market. And what I mostly got out of this kind of stuff, and you're asking about successful, but I think the best customer I ever had was an investor who ended up giving me countless listings. It was probably like a third of my business for a few years, came out of this sort of thing. Because he was interested in the content, and I built trust with the content. It was a long time ago, though. I don't have specific numbers. But this is the kind of thing that we don't see our competitors doing, right? Not a lot of people are willing to put into work. I mean, a lot are, but you have to put in a little work here to create this content and to, test it and risk that it's just not going to work. This is kind of marketing, right? You try a bunch of things. But if you follow the growth system methodology where you come up with something cool, somebody will download, and you do the other things we're going to talk about this week, there's a high likelihood that it will. So what I'm going to do, guys, in the next 24 hours till we meet again, is I'm going to round this out. I'll make this report available to everybody so that when we go to run our ads tomorrow, we have something to give away. That's the issue. So, but what I wanted to get to today, without this taking the full hour to create this report, is I also wanted to show the creation of a landing page in kvCORE for our lead magnet. Okay, so we'll create the rest of this, get this to you. But now let's create the actual landing page. So as we all know, in kvCORE, I can come into the lead engine here, into our main page, and I can go to lead engine, all lead engine tools, and I can build a landing page. So I'll click start building. What is going on here? Here we go. Didn't want to click for me. And I am going to use the normal lead generation page. If you want to get fancy, you could do a video plus lead and put a video in there. I'd say that's a little risky. You never know. What I am going to do is I am going to delete the logo. So as you guys can imagine, and there may be some stuff with compliance I need to talk to my broker about, but the less this feels like there's an agent on the other side, the better probably. And I'm going to just recommend you do whatever you need to do to be compliant. But just know that if you want to delete your logo, you can double click it like this, and it kind of gives you that compliance warning right here, and then I can hit OK. And then I'm going to do my headline, and landing pages can be pretty simple once you have a good marketing hook, because all you're going to do is take the headline from your hook and pop that in here. So unfortunately, it wants to keep my formatting. That's a bummer. From the doc, so I'll have to type it out. It's 5 marketing tactics that will help you sell your house. Now we could do, right? You could do your local market, like that's what feels more relevant to them, without paying an agent's commission. Download the free guide now. Right, and then I like to delete these other bullets. I feel like it just confuses things a little more. Download. My submit button will be instant, free download. My hashtag, I'll call this FSBO 7 marketing tactics, 7 tactics. So I'm putting my up top here, right, my hashtag. So when it comes into kvCORE, it'll trigger this, right? I mean, it'll add this hashtag, and then it can trigger our follow-ups. And then my URL after login, that will be the actual report, or it could be another bridge page where I have a video that introduces it. As we've talked about bridge pages in the past, where I can take them to a page where I say, hey, yeah, thanks for downloading the report. You can click down below to access it now. But to keep things uncluttered and simple, I will simply go find the report. I dragged it over here, my other monitor. And then I will just use my share link for demonstration purposes now. So just make sure when you share that it's available to the public, anyone with link. And now I can copy the link. And this will be where I send people after they log in, right here. Okay. And then if you enter your cell number, we will text message you a complete, how about this? We're going to go a little extra, a free 20+ page analysis of your property's current market value, something like that. I might have said that a little awkwardly, but what I'm trying to do with that is get the cell number, and also if they are a FSBO, they might be interested in that, and it gives them a reason why, if the cell phone is optional, why they would want to give me that. And then for my background, you know, I could do a custom image. I've really been liking this one that's agent/recruiting. I just think it looks clean and nice, so I'm just going to use that. It's like a cool real estate image, and that would be my page. Right? Again, it's going to redirect to the report. And the reason I needed this page is because tomorrow we want to drive to continue with the funnel. We need to drive traffic to something. So this is a page that we can run a Google ad for and a Facebook ad for. And I'm going to show both of those on tomorrow's session. So I'm going to hit save, hit OK. I'm going to put this in my landing pages folder so I can access it quickly tomorrow. Just a note, guys, in case you didn't know, you can actually view past created landing pages now, which is very useful right here. So the way you identify it is by the hashtag is probably the way you know what it is right here. Huh, this one had 153 views. What was that? Oh, I must have run an ad to that. That's a good one, isn't it? I was get a little distracted. That's a good one. You guys should try that one. We must have done that on a session recently. Okay. So we have a couple of pieces of our funnel. We have a landing page that offers this report, which as promised, I will have ready for you guys tomorrow. Anybody will be able to use this or edit it to your heart's desire, but I'll have this done tomorrow, and then we'll run the ad to it tomorrow. And I think we have a little extra time today. I was wondering when I'd have time to sneak this in. I do want to make sure that we set up some of the instant follow-up, you know, sort of the conversational instant follow-up that comes with this based on that hashtag coming in. And this is a key step in the funnel. It kind of falls on the conversion side of things, but let's knock that out. So the FSBO 7 tactics, when that comes in, we're going to need to follow up. So what I'm going to do So I'm going to go into marketing, go to smart campaigns, manage campaigns. And I'm going to I'll add the campaign first. So we'll do hashtag is FSBO 7 tactics. Hit next. Seller will be who it's designed for. FSBO 7 tactics. Always run no. Hit next. Finish. Okay. And then now I'm going to add some templates. And incidentally, guys, I've mentioned this, but I don't know if everybody knows, but we will soon have a much better flow for these smart campaigns. I believe it's coming pretty darn soon, where you won't have to go enter the template separate. It'll kind of all happen on one page, which is an awesome thing. But for now, we're going to do templates. Click add template. And I'm going to start with an email template. And we'll do FSBO 7 marketing tips report. Your 7 marketing tactics, 7 property marketing tactics. All right, so hi, thanks for requesting 7 marketing tactics. Link just now. Info just now. You can click here to download the free report. And now twice. Oops. Oh, Control Z didn't work. No. Okay. You can click here to download now. And then again, I just got to grab my other window, the link to it. Do you guys find it useful to watch the construction of these? I feel, I could have built this all before the session, and I do that sometimes, but I always feel like you miss kind of the nitty gritty of the steps. And always keep in mind that whether or not you use this specific idea, the process for whatever ideas you have, whether it's FSBOs or not, it's always kind of similar. You're coming up with a lead magnet. You got to build something that captures the lead. It's a landing page, text code or something. Then you got to have this follow-up stuff, and you got to drive traffic. So yeah, great. Thanks guys for feedback. So you can click here to download the report now. Just curious. Also, just curious, is your property currently on the market? So I always like these open-ended questions, conversational marketing. A lot of people are talking about this now. I'll just do Ryan, and it'll have my signature. And at this point, they'll know that I'm a realtor. Is your property currently on the market? I can also do this. We've got tons of buyers who are looking in the area. I'd enjoy the chance to tell them about your home, right? Something like that. So what are we doing? We're only offering value. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for the listing yet. But we're trying to build a relationship. So there's a reason why they might reply and tell us, yes, it is on the market. It's because we have tons of buyers and we'd love to tell them about it. Yeah, really good question from Susan. So let me add this template. So Susan's asking, could you direct FSBOs to your website via their email? You could, no doubt. So, and that's more of kind of the surgical route, where we're going to send, if we see somebody who's a FSBO, we'd send them a postcard, right, or something, or send them a letter in the mail. Similar thing, if you know the email because they're on a FSBO site, or the email's for some reason on the sign, or there's an info tube they have outside the house, there's no reason why you couldn't, do that. Just shoot them a one-off email. So that would fall under the category of traffic source, and you can basically take any traffic source and throw it at any of your hooks that you want to. So we built a quick email that goes out. Remember, we did our thing about the 20+ page analysis of your home value. So I am going to create an auto text as well for my templates. So template. We'll do a text message. And I'm going to call this FSBO home value report reply. I forget what I called these, so I'm making a note. FSBO home value report. Hi, thanks for requesting. Thanks for providing your number so we can send you your property value. What's the address? We'll get that over ASAP. What's the address? Right? They haven't given us the address at this point. So we'll add the template. You guys could attach a core video to this if you want. There's so many cool things you could do, but I just wanted to have an instant email and an instant text that goes out. I'm going to hop back into the campaign here. Here's my 7 tactics campaign. I will turn the campaign on. I always forget to do that. And then I'm going to add that email. Initial report. This is the name is mostly for me, so I know what it is, right? FSBO 7 marketing tips report, time unit. And we'll just send it immediately. Click add. And then I'm going to add action. I'm going to add my text. Initial FSBO, initial text reply. Template FSBO, home value report reply. I can do the template, make sure that was right. And we'll just send that like 5 minutes later. Feels a little organic. And then what I could do is add a task for myself. This is more along the follow-up stuff. And there's a template in here. I don't know if this is in the system or if it's something I made in the past, but make sure property alerts are set up. So, I'm of the opinion that every lead should get some kind of property alert. So for a FSBO lead, you could just say, hey, you don't even get, you could tell them, you should, but say, I just want to let you know, I set you up so once a week you would get a list of all the properties coming up for sale in your neighborhood, just so you know the competition, what yours might be worth from day to day. So you're providing value here, right? So you could email them and let them know you did this. And then rather than auto trigger this alert, because we don't really know, these FSBOs can come from all different neighborhoods, you'll just manually have a task to go set that up. So that's a nice little tidy smart campaign follow-up for that specific FSBO. And then if you want, you could do another task that's just basically like a check-in. I'm just going to do the weekly check-in. You could create a template that's like a FSBO check-in, but why not check in like 2 weeks and see if they've got it listed, try to attempt to call, whatever it might be. Just check in and keep trying to get in touch. So I might add that task a few times, right? Every other week. So yeah, so our lead magnet, which I will get completed for you guys, for us all to use and to edit. Basically a simple Google Doc. Remember, it doesn't need to be super fancy. It needs to look professional and clean, maybe have your logo on it, whatever. But you don't have to obsess over writing a novel, right? Basically, all I'm going to do is put like a paragraph or 2 about each of these things and talk about what it is, why it's important, what it is, why it's important, do that like 7 times, maybe a tip or 2 about how to do it. And then my conclusion, as you'll see tomorrow, we'll start the session by talking about, by reviewing this. But my conclusion will be, hey, if you want help doing all this stuff, I'm here for you. You should just, you're not in the business of doing this, but I am. So give me a call. Plus, I'll probably save you 5 figures anyway, because you're gonna say something. Come on, you will. Something like that. So that's the beginning of our funnel. Lead magnet, landing page. Once the landing page is submitted, quick little follow-up sequence. And now we are almost to the point, once we finish our lead magnet, where we can go ahead and drive some traffic, which I'm hoping to do tomorrow. So that's kind of the start for the week, guys. That's what I had for today. And now I'll stop. If you guys have any specific questions about this or anything related to kvCORE, we can spend the balance of the time here just doing our typical Q&A. But yeah, I'm hoping that for those of you who have been on a lot of these, you're starting to get the flow. of these growth systems. It's really cool stuff. You can do it whether it's for real estate or not. Any business, if you follow this sort of process. This is the modern internet marketing thing. And I think I've mentioned, I think Russell Brunson's books are pretty good. If you want more kind of context on these, I like to bring them up. His Expert Secrets, Traffic Secrets, and .com Secrets. Those are definitely really well done, those three. Yeah, thanks, Claire. So how's everybody else? How you doing otherwise, guys? Let me see here. I got a question from Kelly that I'm going to read here. Oh, cool. A contest for Father's Day. Basic contact info. Nominating the dad to win the package. That's awesome. Okay, so you're doing some automation. You're going to have a jot form, right? Because you need a flexible form, Zapier, and then push it into kvCORE. Does kvCORE have any functionality beyond the regular contact info? So, right, kvCORE does not have the ability to add a bunch of custom fields, which is what I think you're looking for. And it would be nice if we could add custom fields based on the responses to that sophisticated jot form. The best you're going to have available is the notes field when you're building the Zap. So I would you could put those multiple fields into the Notes Zap, and the way that I usually do that, Zapier is pretty flexible. I'm logged into somebody's Zapier account, but I'll just jump in here. Let me log back in. But yeah, the notes field, but you can put multiple pieces of data into the notes field. That's what I was trying to show live on the screen. Hopefully that helps. You might also be able to do multiple hashtags, Kelly, which is interesting. Like you could do conditionals with your zaps and say, hey, if this answer is such an answer, then you can assign a different hashtag depending on what you're trying to do. So I'm not going to go too deep on that now, but just know that Zapier can do that. Cool. Zach, hey Zach, what's up? The triggering the campaign from the previous one. Thank you. You did ask about that. Let's do that. I forgot to send you the video. I apologize. So Zach's question is related to triggering one campaign when another campaign is over. And the way that you could do that, you guys just saw some of the pieces of that puzzle as I created this FSBO 7 tactics. But let's show how that works. The example I'm going to use here is my 1-year buyer campaign. So let me look for that. Oh, it would be in my campaigns. Here we go. So what Zach wants to do is he wants to trigger one campaign as the other ends. So here is my longer 1-year nurture campaign that I like to dump people into. And you guys can see here, might be small on your screens, but you notice there's a rule that this campaign is triggered whenever the hashtag nurture is applied. So when I created this campaign, I built this rule in my campaign settings. Hey, this only triggers when nurture is added to a lead. So if I have a shorter, say, conversational auto campaign, right? These campaigns that I do are like 2, 3, 4 touches. So we'll go to our waterfront campaign. I got to change that ad, by the way. I keep getting people telling me there's no more $300,000 houses on the water, which is true. All right. So then at the end, you see here where it says transition to longer term follow-up. In this case, I have a manual task being added, but what I can do is change that. Oh, do I not have, this isn't in my account, is it? Here, let's go to that. I had a task or a tag that transitions. So I'm going to delete the ones that are there just to show you guys how this looks. So at the very end of my campaign, I'm going to add an action and it's going to add a tag. So add tag, add nurture tag to transfer. I can just explain what it does to 1 year buyer nurture. And the tag I'm going to add is nurture. And that will run, I think it was 15 days into this campaign. I had it set to do. Hit add. So Zach, I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how it's done. You have the one campaign that you're transferring to, and it's triggered by a tag that you assign at the other from the other campaign that's shorter. You see my action right here. Susan, yes, this is recorded. It'll be at insiderealestate.com/webinars in an hour or two. It's actually on the YouTube channel already. I just have to do a few things and transfer it into the playlist, but it'll be on this list. Yep, cool. Sorry, I forgot about that, Zach. I always regret like checking my phone on the weekends, and it might have been Friday or something, and you always forget to go back to the computer, send stuff. Let's just say I was lazy. I'll be honest. Just forgot. So good. I don't see any other questions, guys. Let's see one more coming in. Zach, I'll do that as soon as I hang up. I'll go find that video. It's in the Facebook group somewhere, and I'll send that to you. That campaign switching thing. Yes. Yep. And then if there's nothing else, we can call it a day, guys. We will continue with this FSBO line of thought. Here we go. I got an MLM guy, buddy of mine, trying to. It's on my Facebook. I didn't want to show you that conversation. He's wacky. All right. Who knows what it's gonna be, some kind of crypto thing or something. All right, so let me find that video for you, Zach, and then we can call it a day, guys. Let's see. Chaining. That's what we called it. Yes, that was easy to find. Zach, I'm going to drop it to you now, but I'm also going to tag you on Facebook. That's cool. I'll just tag you in the group. And this will put this at the top of the group for anybody else who's interested, because it's kind of like a bump. So it should bump it to the top of the group now. Okay, guys. So we'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Thank you, Celeste, for the nice feedback, and everybody else who gave the nice feedback too. I appreciate it. Okay, see you tomorrow at 2 p.m., guys.